Following content contains AI-generated images and voices that do not reflect views and beliefs of any individuals that show in this video. Content that you'll see was made strictly for satire and entertainment purposes only. Enjoy the video.
Masatsu.
Hello, Barack. Hello, Donald. What a beautiful day to have productive conversation, isn't it?
Hello, everyone on YouTube. This is the first tier list we'll be making on this channel. Decided by majority vote, the choice of topic is a franchise well known by many people, Street Fighter.
Before start, let me address a few things. First, there will be no spin-off games on this list because that will take too long to make. Second thing, we will rank only final versions of those games, and for that reason we may or may not include Street Fighter 6, as it's barely even past its vanilla phase.
Come on, can we start already? I am already starting to doze off.
Not surprising for me, my demented old friend, but I agree. Let's start at the beginning. Street Fighter 1.
To be honest, I barely even knew this game existed. Never played it, as far as I remember. Don't know if my word will have weight on the ranking, but from what I've seen on YouTube, it's a decent game with dated graphics and a strange interface.
Are you shitting me?
Street Fighter 1 is B tier,
is
Joey.
trash and belonged to the bottom of D tier, and you can't say one thing about it that will convince me thinking about other ranks.
Street Fighter was the pioneer of genre, just as I was true pioneer for a presidency. Nobody knew what the hell is a fighting game, or how to make one for that matter.
Can you stop sucking this game's balls while jerking your schlong? This game is trash and you know it. The controls are awful, the difficulty is ridiculous, music is puke. And worst of all, there's no versus mode with character select, for fuck's sake. The only playable characters are Ryu and Ken, so how the hell can you even call it a true fighting game, let alone a B tier one?
Skill issue and skill issue on both those first trash takes. I bet your fingers can't find the button without you wearing your reading glasses. For me, this game was just mildly hard, nothing a pro gamer can handle. The only thing I will agree with you on is the absence of an actual versus mode with all characters. For that, I want to go B and not A tier.
Fair enough.
What? How's that fair enough? He's just nostalgia blinded. You can't say you're siding with him, are you, Barack?
No, actually, that just makes my point more probable. Your D's, his B's balances out in my C. I think that would be a fair assessment.
We already given this game more time than it deserves, to be honest, so I won't argue with this logic.
In CA goes. Now, to the actual genre-defining game that made this franchise worldwide popular. Street Fighter 2.
S tier, no doubt about it.
It's hard even to say anything that was bad about it. Graphics, sound, mechanic, all comes around and back as flawless experience, especially as a kid back in the day. I am glad both of you on the same page as me this time.
Tremendous game. So many iconic characters were introduced, and as the time did go by, roster became even bigger, I think twice as much as the vanilla version.
Come to think of it, it's the first game that had actual updates, like a season pass. And they stick to this philosophy throughout the years, up until Street Fighter V, as its final version was just Street Fighter V Champion Edition.
Slow down, Joe. You're getting a little ahead of the schedule.
Oh boy, this is going to be real spicy. The game that shook the world and divided it in half. Street Fighter 3, my personal favorite.
Not gonna lie, this game did grew on me later, but the starting point was just too messy.
Agree. The audacity on the dev team to consider removing Ryu and Ken from the game altogether was just astonishing. And half of the roster is a bunch of no-names who nobody wanted to play.
I mean, there are nobodies right now.
At the time, nobody gave a shit. The only characters that did it for me was Alex and Helena, and maybe Makoto. And game was pretty unbalanced throughout its lifespan. Only redeeming qualities was parry mechanic and the fact that you could see stun bar for the first time. It really makes you think about risk-reward behavior.
No, man, almost all characters in this game were fleshed out and unique except 12.
Yes, he is special. Maybe it's only my opinion, but the art style doesn't do it for me. Over-exaggerated proportions and some poor design choices like Dudley and Gil. Guy can't decide which color is his favorite.
Joe, like it or not, SF3 is so influential that it had probably biggest highlight at EVO this year, which from this point in time, it doesn't matter how old it is. People still like it and dedicate their time to learn how to play. This game deserves to be at least an A tier. Not to mention, famous 37 moments cemented its legacy. Come on, Joe.
I was thinking a solid B, but if Barack thinks it deserves A, I'll compromise.
So in A it goes.
And now for Indestructible Comeback, a game that reintroduced cult classic in a new way and broke through new era of fighting games, Street Fighter IV.
I fucking hate this game.
Barack, are you okay?
You need to explain yourself right now.
You can praise this game however you like, but in my heart and soul, Street Fighter IV is going to be the biggest pile of shit that Capcom ever produced. The big start of the 3D era for 2D fighting games, and it looks like toys bought from Wish. I don't care how it plays. Every time I see the screen, I want to gouge my eyes out. What happened to the artistic 2D style of fighting games? Why the sudden need for making it three-dimensional, and was poorly designed for the time it was released, too. Tekken 5 was released 3 years prior and was already way ahead graphically. Let me be clear, I'll take any 2D fighting game over this shit.
Wow, just wow.
I thought you liked this game. What about the times we played it in the Oval Office while you were president?
I knew this game was big despite my feelings towards it, so I just went with the flow, and I know you personally like this game, so I didn't want to hurt your feelings. I can never forgive them for what they did to my girl Chun. Her face looks like ass.
You need to take a chill pill, Obama. You can't hate game-based sorely off of its visual aspect. What about the actual gameplay? New focus attack mechanics? Special canceling into supers?
I think it was all right. They definitely dumbed down the entry threshold for casual players, that's for sure. And if you tried to play online back in the Xbox 360 era, you would stumble across crowds of scrubs who somehow beat you despite you being better than them.
You sound an awful lot like a certain someone who we won't mention in this video. Did you watch any compilations with him lately?
Get off my dick. Don't make me say things that'll make audience hate me more. This game pisses the fuck out of me, bro, but I know you two fuckers will rank this either S or A, so my opinion won't really matter. So make it quick, goddammit.
Dude, it's just a game. No need to be so butthurt about it. I think Street Fighter IV is a tremendous game, and although it has some flaws and a pretty big jump from casual to pro play, it will always be a good memory.
Actual W take from Donald. I disliked the removal of the stun bar, and the art style was questionable, to say the least. But the cinematic supers and the growing roster of newcomers and returning fan favorites made this game fun to play, difficult to learn, and rewarding to master. I, too, give it an A tier.
Whatever.
Joe, do you want to close this tier list with finishing statement on Street Fighter V?
So no Street Fighter VI.
I was thinking about it, and it's really too early to judge. Second season is halfway done, and there is much, much more to go.
I can live with that.
Same here.
Street Fighter V as a game can be defined with single word.
I was going to put him...
Excuse me, I meant disappointment. No arcade mode, no story mode per character, nothing. There was nothing at the start, and what was there at the beginning was not enough. You can tell Capcom definitely learned their lesson the hard way, but development team at least tried to redeem their legacy in upcoming seasons. I think everyone here can agree on this. Street Fighter V was made purely for esports, and it really breaks my heart because casual players is really what made this franchise popular in the first place.
Words of wisdom, never been said more clearer than this. Biggest mistake was to release unfinished game just because Evo was around the corner.
I think it's not just that. From what I've heard, Sony made a deal with Capcom on its budget issues, but no Xbox and early release was flip side of that bargain. And we know how good that paid off.
Beside all of that, what rank it really deserves?
I think we should give this game D rank. That'll show Capcom that this shit not gonna slide second time.
Haha, it's kind of hilarious. Fuck it.
It's a bit harsh, but deserved, I guess.
Hey, that's our first tier list. Wasn't that fun, you guys?
Arguable, but not something I wouldn't want to continue.
So goodbye for now, YouTube. Tell us what ranking we should do next. Or maybe play, or just chat.
Subscribe and be ready for greatness in the future. So long, my friends.